CBS News senior political editor Steve Chaggaris is in Washington, and Caitlin Huey-Burns, Real Clear Politics national political reporter, is here with me in studio right now. Steve, I want to start with you. How meaningful are these numbers this far out from the general election? We still have months to go.
Right. I mean, and then in the horse race numbers, I'm not sure how meaningful they are. Keep in mind all the things that we know are going to happen over the next several months that could change the dynamic of this race, the conventions, the debates, and there are plenty of unknowns as well. But there are a lot of things that you can look at these polls and sort of not the horse race numbers, but in the issues and the attributes, right? And so you could sort of, you see that Hillary Clinton, for instance, she does well among voters who think that they want somebody who's experienced or qualified or somebody who has the right temperament. Trump, for his part, you know, if they want somebody who's going to, they think he could change Washington. Also, they like him on fixing the economy. So if it becomes an election about change in the economy, that works in Trump's favor. We see that in these polls pretty consistently. And if it becomes about temperament and experience, then that's going to benefit Clinton. So these are the kinds of things we can read in these early polls. Yeah,
it's interesting to dive deep into there. Caitlin, I want to ask you, Clinton had led Trump consistently, it looked like, by double digits since December. Are you surprised that Trump's been able to close the gap here? What does Hillary need to do to stop the momentum?
Right. I'm not entirely surprised he's been able to close the gap because he is now the presumptive Republican nominee. I think what these numbers reflect are a kind of coalescing of the party around Trump. You're seeing within these poll numbers more Republicans supporting Trump. So I do expect that once Hillary Clinton clinches the nomination outright, she will too get some kind of a bump. But I think what this poll does and what others like it do are it signals to Republicans who are still reluctant to get on board or Republicans who are running down the ballot in House and Senate races, even at state House races that were reluctant to support Trump. This kind of shows that he can be competitive in a general election. And so what remains the same about her numbers, though, are those high negatives. And in fact, they're actually increasing over the course of the primary. So that's what she will have to contend with. Donald Trump's are very high, too. This is a battle of two of the most disliked candidates in recent history.
Steve, when you look at the numbers, when we talk about a potential third-party candidate, has the momentum shifted there in a way? It used to be, oh, we're going to put up a third-party candidate because of Trump. Is it now we may put up a third-party candidate because of Hillary Clinton?
Well, there's the general question on do you want to see a third-party candidate, and that number is fairly high, sort of surprisingly, like in the 40% range, mid 40% range in both of these polls. But when you start attaching names to that, it's a different dynamic. And you know, I think that right now there's still a lot of fluidity among voters and who they support. Caitlin mentions this is historically the highest unfavorables for both of the presumptive nominees of each of the parties. And so, you know, I think you're going to see voters really, and one of these polls also show that a lot of voters are voting against the person that they're voting for somebody because they're voting against the other person, right? And so I think you throw the third party question in there. It's not surprising that a generic third party candidate would get some general support. But I think, you know, in reality, you have to see who that person is going to be before you really get a sense of how they'll actually poll.
You know, in just a few weeks, Donald Trump has consolidated the GOP, while Hillary Clinton now struggling to unify a Democratic Party, as we've been talking about here. On Sunday, I want to play something for both of you and then ask you about it. Bill Clinton stressed the need for their party to get behind Hillary. Let's take a listen.
We need to send her to that convention with the wind at her back, with a united progressive front, to go after the conflict between her and Mr. Trump. Now, look, I got a lot of applause lines. I could make you boo Mr. Trump. I'm not interested in that. Are we just going to put walls up and hunker down? Are we going to grow this economy and put every American on an escalator to a brighter future? Or do what Make America Great Again really means, which is, hey, I'll make it the way it used to be. You will be better off. And if you're not, at least you'll have somebody else to look down on. That is a dumb idea. It will not work.
Two different points there. At first, Bernie Sanders doesn't seem to be going anywhere. We've seen the chaos in Nevada with Sanders supporters, and now Sanders is going after DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, saying he will support her primary opponent. Caitlin, I have to ask, how bad is this Democratic disarray, and could Hillary, maintaining a two-front battle here become a real problem for her?
I think it certainly has taken a toll, and I think it's in the Democrats' best interest to have certain figures within the Democratic Party talking about unity. What the consequence of a long, drawn-out primary is that it, effectively sidelines people like President Obama, who is a very popular figure among Democrats. He's the sitting president, obviously. Other figures like Elizabeth Warren have started to weigh in against Trump, and we saw that from Bill Clinton there. So there is an acknowledgement from the Democrats that they have to unify quickly, especially since the unifying on the Republican side has happened pretty quickly. I think much more quickly than many of us had anticipated, this coalescing around the Republican nominee.
Steve, before I let both of you go, I want to ask, because the other part of that soundbite that we just heard from is both Clinton and Trump, they're really ramping up their attacks against each other here. We just heard Bill go after the Trump slogan there, but both he and Hillary have said they will not respond to Trump's attacks. Can that work for her in a way?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I think they saw 16 Republican candidates try to go after Trump at various levels, some of them going after him in a very personal way, and didn't work out for them. And so I think the strategy, at least for now, for the Clintons is let's not take him on if he attacks us personally, but let's take him on issues and on policy. And that's sort of what you're hearing. They're trying to keep her. I mean, she's rating well, she's polling well among people who think she has a good temperament, right? So she doesn't want to go after him on these personal issues. But the question moving forward is, one, can they resist? I mean, we've seen Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton not be able to sort of be as disciplined, I think, as they would like to be on these kinds of things in past campaigns. But also, who's going to do that? I mean, someone has to, on their side, go after Trump, and I think they're going to be looking to whoever her running mate is and other surrogates to sort of go after Trump on those really personal mudslinging issues.
New chapter each day. Steve Chaggaris and Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you both so much for being with us.
Thanks.